secretly infiltrates the Land of Daughters, posing as the Supreme Seed Keeper, enjoying imperial treatment. Looking out the window at the tantalizing view, he felt his life had reached its peak. He even changed his name to Mike. He couldn't wait to get to work, but with no work experience, he suddenly panicked and left in the middle of the day. He rushed to the bathroom. 2 seconds later, the alarm suddenly sounded. The other seed keepers put their hands up in fear. The woman in charge was very angry, caught Mike in the act. A meeting followed with severe criticism. This is the 22nd century. You are more precious than pandas. You have to know how to conserve resources. Mike also admitted his mistake. He promised not to make mistakes again. But while walking around the park to get acquainted with the environment, he found that his daughter's country has a very strict management system. Even a fart has to go to the smart bathroom for air purification. What a difference between this and prison. Naturally, he was too active to tolerate it. Surreptitiously took his companions to the river and said he would catch fish for them to eat in the river. Looking at his 2 hairy thighs, the companions began to suspect his true identity. They asked him if he was a barbarian from outside the Daughters, but Mike diverted their attention with a lighter. Fire is definitely not allowed here, not to mention a good barbecue. Afterwards, he took out a bottle of wine to cheer them up. His companion also added a fire, but the smoke triggered the alarm in the tree. A dark cloud appeared out of nowhere. They were soaked to the skin. When they returned, Mike was still not satisfied. Decided to make a cocktail for everyone. Unexpectedly, the alarm was triggered again. One. The woman came over immediately. Mike said he just wanted to make a cocktail. Isn't that against the law? The woman says, the cocktail can be provided by the intelligent robot. Anyway, it can't set off the alarm. After the lady left, he finally figured out. Because the smart ring has a sensing device on his right hand. If you use your left hand to operate it, there will be no problem. Speaking of which, the companions seemed to understand something. They went back to their respective rooms. On the other hand, Ava was being tried by a judge for taking her students out of the reserve to meet the savages. Was being tried by a judge. Her mother also voluntarily admitted her mistake and promised to be more strict in the future. But Ava strongly disagreed because the mayor's daughter had asked her to do so. The mayor was not happy about this. She swore to the apple that it was a false accusation. Then, Ava called her own witnesses. The security footage from the smart car speaks for itself. Seeing that the evidence was overwhelming, the judge immediately changed his mind. The incident had no major repercussions, and the students were not harmed in any way. We'll talk about this later. But then her best friend suddenly came forward to report. Ava had a close encounter with a barbarian, just to earn the 20 points. Ava is naturally very angry, but she could only blame herself for not having a house. For this reason she was punished to do 3 days of volunteer work, but she would never have imagined. But she never expected to see Mike the Barbarian here. It seems that his true identity will soon be revealed.